all, as you walk by, if you're wondering what we're doing, I'd like to just mention a few things. War is terrible. War is terrible. For the past 20 years, the United States has been waging war on Afghanistan, but it didn't even start 20 years ago. It started way before then. But for 20 years, the Afghan people have witnessed and experienced war that they should not have at all. But we have also experienced it. $2 trillion have been spent on this war, which could have been used for many, many beautiful things in our own country, our own children. But this war that the Afghan people experience is going to have effects for a very, very long time. It starts with things that we don't always know about. There were uh, there's an opium trade that started because we encouraged the growing of opium, and the drugs have been infesting the whole country. There is a huge addiction problem that we don't even know about. But these are the hidden things. We all know that there's many, many people, including many civilians, many children, who have been killed over time. And we are, we think we finished with the war in this terrible way that it ended, but it's still going on. And I think this is the part that I want to actually mention, something that we don't know. The insidious part of war, what happened along with the bombings, along with the starvation, along with the devastation of the ecosystem, along with people who were controlled only in the cities by our own supportive government that we put in place, the puppet government in Afghanistan. Outside of the central part of Afghanistan, we've had people who were completely controlled by the Taliban all along for 20 years. But along with this war, the insidious part was that the US government created a whole banking system separate from the government of the Afghanistan that we put there. This banking system was created by the United States to control and put in the bank the money that belonged to the Afghan people, the Afghan government. And now, since it was separate from the government, only the United States can control that. So now we have control of vast amounts of money that belongs to the Afghan people, and the United States has made a decision to withhold that money from the people. And if you could only know what is happening to people in Afghanistan, they are starving, people are burning their belongings for heat, and their children are starving and there's no food, coffers are empty. But the money that we control through the bank, we have confiscated. The United States has confiscated that money, and we think that that money should be returned to the Afghan people. It's not our money, it's the money that belongs to the future of Afghanistan, to the children of Afghanistan. And we want that money to be given back to them. It is not our money to say that we are going to use to give back to the 9/11 victims. That's what that money partially will be used for. I absolutely think we should have compensated long ago the poor victims of the 9/11 incident. Instead of spending $2 trillion and killing people in Afghanistan, that's how we should be using our money. But instead, we're now supposedly making a decision on the money that belongs to the Afghan people on how it's going to be spent. It is not for us to say that we will now take their money and call it aid, humanitarian aid back to Afghanistan. That is not our decision. It's the decision of the people who own that money, and that is the Afghan people. And we are here to say that it is completely criminal of us to not give that money back to the people who own it, especially the people who are starving and in great trouble right now in Afghanistan, as we know. And we bear so much responsibility for that. Thank you.